Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. This is the third time I've recorded this, and if it doesn't work this time, I'm done. So it'll be music and we're done. So I decided to do a canvas today, trying out the Deco Art fluid acrylics that were sent to me by the company. I have a bunch here, as well as their interferences, which are absolutely fantastic. So I have a black canvas. I painted it black. And all I'm using are these fluid acrylics from Deco Art on them. And you can see how opaque they are. They're very nice. And yeah, so I mean, I'm just doing a mixed media background in a sense and having a blast. I'm also going to use my Stabilo all pencil in black, which I love. And I'm adding some blues on this background and really just getting a bunch of colors using my scrapey thing. I don't know what it's called. You can use a fork or a plastic fork or whatever you have, cardboard. And I'm scraping it, adding some different colors, adding some of the white. As you know, if you have a transparent color and you add a little bit of white, it'll make it more opaque. And that's what I'm doing here. I am just adding color over color and texture over texture and having a blast doing it. So really, these paints are really good. I've used these before. The company sent me some of these. They sent me some of their interference. They sent me some stencils. And I'm just having a blast with them. And I figure from now on, I have a few other things here that they sent me that I'm gonna use in videos. And instead of me just sitting there and showing you different colors and all that kind of thing, I thought I'd do a canvas and show you. So you can see they are beautifully opaque now, and even on the black. And the colors are vibrant. They're fluid, which I love. And I'm using one of their stencils now from their Personally Yours Urban Ink. And I go in with some of their white mixed media spray. And you're going to see it doesn't come out, and it's my fault. What you need to do, and I did not do on this because I had been using them, is when you're done using any of your sprays, make sure that you unscrew them, take them, spray them, have a piece of paper next to you that you might want to use for a mixed media background or what have you. Spray them out, wipe off the tip, and then put it, screw it back in. Oh my God, the jokes. And put the lid on, and you are good to go. If for whatever reason you're like me and you forget, or you walk away, you come back 2 days later, soak the nozzle in very hot water for, like 10-15 minutes. Take a toothpick or a pointy thing and like kind of, scratch it around where the nozzle is, and then you should be good to go. So, but always spray it out, wipe it, you're good. So I really love these colors. As you see, I did the spray with these stencils, and I'm going to keep the 2 words, and I'm just going to go in now, and the white that was the other part of the stencil that I'm not keeping so visual, I guess, it's just going to be a really cool back part of the background. And I'm taking this beautiful color, and I squished it all around, sprayed it with water, got my paper towel, and did some dabbing. And I'm just going back in, adding a little bit more darker color or whatever. And when this dries, you're going to be able to see the beautiful background that I already have underneath here. And I love it. It really came out gorgeous. And once it's all done, the layers that you can see and all that, I just love. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now I'm using the Deco Art. It is a glass marker and glass paint marker, which if you've been with me watching, you know I'm obsessed with the paint markers lately, and these are no exception. I've been using the Sharpies and the Liquitex, and now I have these, And you can see I'm just tracing out those words, and I'm going to color them in with this or paint them in. And I love it. I love it. I love it. And they come in a bunch of different colors, and you'll be seeing me use these more, but I really dig these, and I'm all about the markers. Some people are all about that base. I'm all about those markers now. All right. I make my own jokes. So now I have a makeup sponge, and I'm just tapping some more of some of that yellow around now that everything's dry and kind of muted out. And I like to do in threes. Now I'm using this darker magenta, quinquadrone magenta, and I'm adding some white in there now too. So I did the makeup sponge with the yellow, I did it with the magenta, and now I'm using it with the white and mixing it. I'm not cleaning the makeup sponge off, and I do in threes, and I just kind of move them all around, and you can see it adds great texture. And I'm drying it with my heat gun. You know, you don't need to. This dries so fast. Acrylic paint dries so fast. I'm using a brighter yellow now in my roly-poly, and I'm just taking it over everything, giving it a quick squirt, and drying it. I'm not going to wipe this off, but I squirted it to kind of let it run a little bit and just kind of separate. But you can see as it dries, you can still see that delicious background through it. If you don't have a heat gun, which is really used for embossing, but we like to use it for everything, go to, and you don't have a hair dryer. If you have a hair dryer, use a hair dryer. Leave it sit 5 minutes, put on your favorite video or two, favorite couple songs, and it'll work. Now I'm doing drippage. I got the quinquadrone violet, and you can see I did some white to make it more opaque, and then I did a darker, less white, and did the drippage. And you can see underneath I have a big sheet of watercolor paper, and that's what I've been working on lately, so I can then go and use it for a mixed media background or whatever I want, and it's not wasting the paint. And I'm drying it. If you don't have a hair dryer, if you don't have a heat gun, go to your local Goodwill or thrift store. They have them for $1 or $2. And I wish I could buy a bunch and mail them out to everybody, but it's not the buying it, it is everything is so expensive to mail. It is terrible. Now, we've been out doing thrift stores and shopping and finding these fantastic treasures. We have an eBay. I'm going to put the link down below if you're interested. Go check it out. Just go check out my eBay. See if there's anything on there you might want. You can always make a bid, you know what I mean? You don't have to, you can always say, hey, I'm going to, you know, offer this. But yeah, I'd appreciate it because we've been doing that and having a lot of fun. I need some more income, and it's just very hard to, being disabled and SSI doesn't pay you very much. So just trying different ways to make some money. I also have some more paintings up on my Etsy. If you are interested, I will link it down below as well. I appreciate anything you guys do. Even watching my videos, that is enough. That's why I say leave me a thumbs up so I know that you guys at least enjoy it. I know a lot of you don't leave comments. You guys would email me instead, but leave me a comment. I love them. I love reading them. So I haven't done a lot of odd girls lately, and I started doing them again with art quilts, and I am like back hooked. So I'm going to do an odd girl on this one. I was going to make her eyes like her looking, but then I started doing this, and then I was like, I'm going to make them closed because that's just how I feel today. Normally, you guys know I do, I'm using the Stabilo All, which is a water-soluble pencil. Writes on anything. You can use watercolor pencil, whatever you have. I love these Stabilo Alls. All these products I'm using, I'm going to link down below. I also have my Amazon down below that you can check out things that I love. And if you'd be interested in supporting me, I'd appreciate it. But I will link the direct link to the Stabilo All down below. I love it. And you can see I'm using my white paint, titanium white, and I'm using it and it's getting a really cool gray. And that makes it permanent because then when the acrylic paint dries, the pencil is now permanent. And I'm just going in a little water around it because I do still have some of that pencil around, and it'll just make it stand out. Odd Girls are something I started years and years ago because a lot of people had a problem drawing and getting the one eye matching the other, and they would beat themselves up so bad. Me too, me included in that. And so Odd Girls came, and here we are. That's what I love to do. I don't have to worry. My brain doesn't work that way anymore. Between chronic illnesses and medications and pain and all that goes along with everything and getting older, my brain just does not function. So, you know, I just love painting and drawing. And so I'm just taking you guys with me while I do this. And if anybody's interested in her, you know, you can go check out my Etsy or let me know down below or email me. All my information is down below as well. And I'm just repeating all these things because YouTube changes things all the time. Now you can be subscribed to me, but you're not going to get notified if you don't click the bell. I mean, it's just like all the time changing things, and it drives me bananas. So the description box on all of us on YouTube has a lot of extra information and links. Go check it out. It's just right below our video, and you'll find all kinds of cool stuff. You never know. Sometimes I might do a giveaway down there. You know, say, hey, doing a giveaway, go do this, and you'll be, you know, put in. So now I'm using gesso. Now I'm using my plaid, my folk art gesso rather, in white multi-surface prep. It's one of my favorite things in the world. So I'm using it on her hair because I was going to do lighter, and then my daughter walked past, and her hair is a very violet magenta. Kind of washed out a little bit now, not all the way washed out, but she could use a fresher, but she don't watch my videos, so she won't hear me say that. But you'll see that I do go over and do the hair like my daughter's. And I'm using a phthalo turquoise, which I love. Oh, I love this color. Just doing a dress, no neck. Who needs a stinking neck? I have a football neck. Even when I'm thin, I'm a bigger boned girl. I'm all right with that. Now I'm just going to do a darker blue. I believe it's ultramarine blue. And I'm just doing some little frillies and doing some pockets. And after I did the pockets, I realized those pockets are up there high. Higher than if I would never buy something that had pockets that high. However, she's an odd girl and she does things her own way. And that's what she's doing. She's putting her hands in those pockets and flashing a peace sign, you know. Anybody know what that's from? And yeah, so I just went with it. And I was like, gonna give her little pockets up here. I love the way that the dress come out, like the colors, the way it blended and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just saying. And you can see in between, I go in with my heat gun. I am just doing it so things dry a little quicker so I can throw another coat on it. Again, you don't have to have a heat gun. I'm going to be doing questions. I have so many questions to answer here. But, you know, if you have a hairdryer, use that. If you don't want to use a hairdryer, leave it sit for a couple songs. You'll be good. All right, so now I'm going back in and coloring in the letters, which you see does change at the end. But these markers are fantastic. You know, glass markers right over any, you know, any slick surface. So, you know, acrylic paint is part of a plastic and plastic is slick, and there we go. It's the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but this is the 7 degrees of a white glass paint pen. And of course, you can use your white acrylic paint. You don't have to use a pen if you don't have one. It all can work for you. I just happened to see this stencil, and I was like, you know what? I want to use the stencil. I want brave and courage. And I was going to put the word breathe on top because I decided to keep her eyes shut. And to me, it's like she's just like, okay, taking that deep breath for to be brave and courageous, but I didn't. I decided not to at the end. I just wanted it like that. But that's just how my brain works sometimes. I start things and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I should have put breathe, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it. Now I'm going in with I did use Folk Art, where did it go? Where did it go? Light Flesh paint, because it's just my favorite flesh paint. Yep, that was me knocking my stuff off. So I'm just going over the face one more time, because what will happen if you're using a water-soluble pencil, as you know, sometimes it can smudge and smear. For the most part, I don't care. I like the kind of fuzz that it gives everything, in a sense, like a moldy fuzz on your fruit. But this one was a little too moldy, you know what I'm saying? So I just went in, and then I tried to do eyelashes, which did not turn out the way I wanted them. Where are you rolling? It's one of my big markers. Hello? Where'd it go? Ugh. Welcome to Kelly Does Art. Okay, so now here we are. Drawing. Okay, so now I'm going in and I'm using Pyrrole Red, I believe it's called, in her hair. And it's a beautiful color. I love the color. And again, it's fluid acrylic, so it's not as thick or anything like that. Obviously, it's not as thick and it's not as opaque, I want to say, although it is very opaque. But like if you use a, you know, a tube paint, an artist grade paint, regular acrylic, it's thicker than, you know, so than a fluid acrylic, but all the same good. So you have to do a couple coats on here, because I did put the white down first. And as my daughter walked past, I noticed her very pink violet hair and thought, I'm going to do this for her. So you will see me use on top, coming up, bright pink multi-surface. It's from Plaid. If you hear this, I'm almost empty it because I use it all the time. Had to put a couple coats on of this, but because the underneath was so dark, I don't know why it didn't cover as well, but it didn't. And I really dug it anyway, because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's not all the way red, it's not all the way pink, it's not violet, it's like a mixture of all three. So when you look at it up close, so I'm kind of digging it. You know, she's odd. She's just living her life. I don't know if anybody out there is like me, who all of a sudden one day you see your roots and you're like, those things are 4 inches long. How did those roots get like that? And where did all that gray hair come from? And I have to dye my hair. And then you hold on for another 3 weeks. It's kind of what this girl got going on. I don't know. Does anybody else have this problem? All of a sudden one day you find this long gray hair, and it's longer than your normal length of hair. Where did it come from? I've not seen it before. And I would have. I don't know. They just shoot out of nowhere. Eyebrows. What? It wasn't there yesterday. Why can't I get rid of my belly fat? You know what I'm saying? Take some of that. Anyway, that's a whole other video, isn't it? Thank you guys so much for watching my vlogs. So thankful, so appreciative. I've only been making them. I've not been sharing them around. I've just been putting them on my YouTube, and, you know, those who want to watch it can watch it. A lot of people have been sharing them. Please share my stuff if you would. But, you know, I'm just kind of putting them on my channel. If you want to watch my vlogs, I will link them at the end of this video or down below. You can go check them out. Don't know if I'm putting up a vlog today. I don't know. But I'm doing my best to try every day, or at least every other day. You know, trying to keep it going. I do have to do a video answering questions, and I got a lot of questions about YouTube and doing YouTube and that kind of stuff. So, and a lot of questions about live streaming, which it's such a weird thing for me, because I know a lot of artists go ahead and live stream pretty frequently, and they're an hour and a half and whatnot. And from me live streaming back in the day, like 2009, 2010, I used to live stream all the time back in Link 2 days. Does anybody remember Link 2? And that's Link 2 with a Q. I used to do Link 2 live videos all the time, live streams. But I would always hate when I was doing it and then somebody else who was an artist or whatever would go ahead and do live streams when I was doing them. And it wasn't that anybody did anything on purpose or anything like that, but I always felt bad for viewers who were into the same things. Like if I'm doing art and this other person's doing art, and then these poor viewers are like, well, who do I watch? Because, you know, they love us all. So I would be like, ugh. So, you know, it gets to be very hard because a lot of the times I'm available when they're doing theirs, and I don't want to be disrespectful to me. I know a lot of you are like, ah, who cares? You know, but I do because, like I said, I hated it back in the day, and they work really hard. You know, a lot of people, I'm not an acrylic painter. I'm a mixed media painter, and, you know, to plan out videos and stuff, it's a lot. And they take a lot of time to plan out their videos and their time. And I just feel like crap doing it. I don't want to do that to them. So my live streams will be, you know, I'm fixing my desk up and put my camera up higher so I can do live streams. And I just talked very fast there. So they will be coming up. It's just finding the right time to do it. Probably fall, when there's more people around and people are starting to like hunker down in the fall, getting ready for the holidays and whatnot. So I wish I could sit and plan out an acrylic painting. I can follow them, but I can't necessarily do them in my head. Even though in my head I can't get them to paper, I guess. Just not the way my brain works. But I love that you guys email me all the time and, you know, asking about doing live streams and stuff like that. And I got more paintings up for sale on my Etsy. Like I said, everything will be linked. There we go. Now I'm using the Pyro Orange and I'm painting over those white words, as you can see. And I love the way it came out. You're going to see me outline it again with the paint pen, which really makes them pop out, and I love it. So that's what I'm doing here. I get off on tangents and I do apologize. I feel like you know, I'm sorry for quite a few of you were not happy. I got a few emails and a comment like that you couldn't watch my Wizard of Oz video because it was way too long, the rug I made. But some people do dig that, and I'm not about the views. I'm about, you know, making people happy and loving what I do. So, you know, I try to do like longer videos and shorter videos to make everybody happy. I know I can't make everybody happy. You know, and I'm sorry about that. So sometimes that just happens. I just do longer ones because I know that some of you are homebound. I know that some of you live alone and you like watching my videos while you clean or eat, or, you know, that you feel, you know, connected. And so that's why I do it. So I'm sorry for those of you who couldn't, you know, stand watching it. You can always put it on the double speed and watch it, you know, or skip through. Sometimes there's long videos and I skip through. I know that, you know, sometimes longer videos with people talking and stuff like that get annoying, but you can speed through it. I do that sometimes when I watch certain videos and stuff and I either don't have time or I just really am not interested maybe in what they're saying or talking about. So I just want to get to and I don't leave them nasty comments or nasty emails because they're just doing their thing. That's what I'm doing, my thing. Nobody left me nasty. I shouldn't have said it that way. My mom would yell at me like, that's why you get yourself in trouble with the mouth. Nobody left me nasty comments. They just were not happy. They were like, I couldn't watch it. It was too long. And then I got a couple emails saying basically the same thing. Like, I don't have all day to watch your videos. You know, can't you make... And I'm like, I got a million other ones that are short. It's just the one I did long. So this one I sped up. This one was an hour as well, hour and a half, and I sped it up and figured I would just do a voiceover and It's a half hour, so it's kind of in between, kind of short, kind of long. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? I cannot make everybody happy. I just can't. I'm not Ben and Jerry's chunky monkey, chubby hubby. Yeah, so there you go on that. Now I am taking the Deco Art Fluid Acrylic Interference paints, and I am loving them. I'm going to take them and put them on the side, as you saw, like all over the canvas, on her hair, on her shirt. They come in blues and magentas and that kind of thing. And you can kind of see as I'm turning it, there's like this really cool sheen to it where it changes colors. It's like an interference paint. They might be my favorite thing out of everything that I'm using today. Because when you hang it on the wall and you walk past, the light hits it a certain way and just gives this really cool like aura to it. And I'm all about the auras, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm going back in with my paint pen, which I also love, and just tracing over, and there you go. Going over my little, I did use my flower stamp. These are from Folk Art Plaid, the stamps. They are for fabric, and I love them for everything. So I use those in the corners. I do odd numbers. So what I did was I did 3 in the one corner, and then I did 1 in the remaining corners to equal 3. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just the way I love it. I do know that 3 and 3 make 6. I know, and I'm okay with that. Because I did the corner thing. It's my own thing I do. I don't need anybody else to understand but me. You know what I mean? Nobody can understand this head of mine and my brain. Now, I screwed up, and what I'm doing now is what I do for everything. You can do it for marker, before it dries, paints, the Stabilo. When you screw up, because I tried to do eyelashes, I just go back, I rinse my brush, I wipe it, with the wet brush, and then clean my brush again, and then suck up that extra water and whatnot, and the paint that came up with it, dab it, and it works like a charm. I'm just going in and tracing some of the eyes to make it a little bit darker. And she's done. Look at her. Always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am stealing her with Mod Podge Ultra Matte. Love it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.